Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Jayanti Narasimhan, founder and CEO of WatchRX. I'm from Boston. Um, about 5 years ago, my mom felt really sick and her medication regimen became way too complex. So she was taking 10 plus medications and often forgot her medications and ended up in hospitals. So I started to call her every day to remind her to take the medications. I was looking for a very simple solution, and that's how WatchRX was born. So my mom is not alone. There are many seniors in her situation where they keep forgetting to take their medications. Almost 25% of the hospital admissions among seniors in US are medication non-adherence. And almost 75% of the seniors have multiple chronic conditions. According to a study, almost 75% mostly people either forget or they get confused with their medications and they do want to take medications. Maybe 25% drop off due to various other reasons. And families also spend too much time. So a typical caregiver like me, we spend about 24 hours taking care of our parents just to visit them, getting the medications ready, or talking to them every day how they are doing. And on top of taking care of family, caregiving, as well as a career, we almost get burnt out. And we all look for simple solutions to make sure that we can be at peace as well as taking care of our parents. So WatchRX is providing a solution for seniors so that they can live independently with dignity and also provide peace of mind to caregivers. So we provide a watch-based solution. So it's a smartwatch-based solutions where we have an app to a dedicated app to provide visual medication reminders with image, voice, and personalized instructions. And this is patent pending. And also we provide custom alerts for food, water, exercise, live GPS tracking. Then we can do vitals data collection. Directly, the watch can connect to the other medical devices such as blood pressure, blood glucose, and get data in real time and feed it into our platform. And we do provide the built-in phone. So there is no need to pair with the phone. This itself is a phone in the watch form factor, and there's no setup needed on the watch. All the setups can be done remotely, so the seniors are not taxed with doing the setups. So for caregivers, we provide an app where they can receive emergency alerts and missed medication alerts. They also receive every minute update once the patient crosses the geofence, and they can get alerts for as we collect behavioral data. We provide predictive analytics and tell them if there are any emergencies. So in addition to that, we provide a remote patient monitoring platform to enable physicians to monitor seniors and in their homes. So we provide, our platform supports both physicians and the case managers and nurses, so they can do patient enrollment. We automate most of the flows for the physician, so they don't have to spend much of the time. And also, we provide actionable alerts for emergency situations. For example, vitals cross a critical maximum or go below critical minimum. We raise an alert immediately. The case manager gets it, and then they can talk to the patient right away. We provide like a typical RPM voice and video calls. And the another big advantage and uniqueness in our platform is to provide the ability to document the encounters, phone communications, and also providing a task management system for the nurses who monitor the patients. And we also collect population health management data. Our watch can connect to various devices, mostly off the shelf. We are partnering with a few medical devices companies that would provide that we can directly connect via Bluetooth, collect data, and provide it to the physicians. So there is a big market opportunity. Even before COVID, the remote monitoring was almost a $31 billion market and at a rate of 12%. But post-COVID, that the market has increased tremendously. And the CMS has just late last year announced the reimbursement policies that also push remote monitoring to a next level. And same with home healthcare and home care industry, that's booming, and they where they want to take care of patients at home, especially who are isolated. and the hospitals looking for transitional care from discharging patients to home. So these are the big market opportunities that are growing. Actually, post-COVID, COVID is growing very rapidly. And we have a watch. We do tie in with manufacturers who produce watches, so you can buy, or you can also get your own Android watch. And we do have a subscription for consumers, though we are not targeting the consumer market directly. We do have a subscription ranging for them. And then we predominantly play in the remote patient monitoring market, where we do charge from $49.99 to $65 per month. According to the CMS codes, they reimburse close to 159 per month per patient. With various codes, we support all of the RPM codes in our platform, and the physicians have an opportunity to earn additional 196K revenue for 100 patients. And currently, worldwide, 36 million patients are being monitored remotely, and it is rapidly growing, and almost 15.2 million patients are going to own the devices by themselves. So we have done various pilots and clients. So we have a few clients who have already completed the pilot successfully, and now they've started to enroll the patients. And we have various market like diabetics patients and substance abuse patients. And then we are working also for with Hackensack Meridian Hospital for a trial for Parkinson patients. This is we do collect motor symptoms and correlate medication adherence to motor symptoms for them. So we are working on the trial. And heart patient is another one that we are focusing on. So from the pipeline perspective, we are working with a few physician groups and the care management companies. So we have a very strong team. Almost all of us have been in the startup space for quite some time. I have 25 plus years of experience. This is my third startup. Of course, this is I founded myself, but the other two are the startups that I had worked before. Sanjay Jain has had a successful startup in the security space, and he's part of our team. And Alex had been an investor and advisor for various startups. He is also an investor and advisor to WatchRX. Then we have Dr. Azmi, who is providing guidance in the healthcare strategy, and Joshua is another one providing investment strategy. So is Alpesh. So we have attended various accelerators and won numerous awards, especially the Boston Scientific Connected Patient Challenge and Google. And we had been in WinLab or SVE Regional Innovator Challenge, and also SBAIN. So we had been widely covered by press. Both it has been happening quite regularly. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thanks, Jayanti.
Sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
I have a question. Jayanti, RPM is a very congested market, and it's growing very fast, as you noted in your presentation. What do you think is your competitive differentiation that would make you more successful than lots of smaller company, and then we have pretty big established companies here? What do you think is what makes you different?
Okay, yeah, there are a few differentiators. So basically, one is the medication adherence piece. So most of the RPM platforms, if you look at it, so majority of them provide vitals collection, like connected with various devices, and they also provide voice video calls, and they enable physicians to talk to and all that. But our differentiation comes from the fact that we are using smartwatch-based solution where it is easy for patients to use, and the medication adherence. I have already tried, did a few trials, and it has a tremendous improvement on the medication adherence piece. And so we also provide not just the vitals collection, we provide medication adherence, we provide the text messaging and responses, which is like a survey. So the nurses or the case managers can directly talk to the patients and get their feedback on how they are feeling, and an actionable alert. So actionable alert in the sense the alert escalation. So we monitor vitals, and not only monitor vitals, if it crosses to a dangerous level, we immediately inform the nurse and the physician so they can right away call and then talk to them and see if they need to go to ER or they can prevent ER admission. So that's one. The second,
Got it.
there are a few differentiation on our platform, especially the task scheduling and documentation, calculation of cumulative minutes, and things like that.
Right.
So,
I was hoping you would answer that. That's a very good answer. Thank you. What is the thinking behind, if I may, a quick follow-up question. What was the thinking behind launching your own hardware device like a watch as opposed to making an app on Samsung or Apple wearable device?
no, it's not our own hardware. So it is also a commercially available hardware. So we are not doing anything hardware. It's
Oh,
purely
okay.
a software company. Yeah.
Understood. But why a watch as opposed to an app?
I started off with a watch. Of course, when I started this at that time, there was Apple Watch. Even the first version was not released, so I started it. But after that, I had moved on to a commercial watches. So I can do any of the Android watches commercially. The Apple, I had been trying until the last version of the Apple. So there are some APIs that I needed are not open in the Apple Watch. So we wanted to make it as a dedicated app so the patients don't have to navigate through the apps or start and update all those kind of things. So it is a dedicated app, only our application is running, and so whenever they need to receive a message or do something, we will prompt it. So that's still an
Understood.
necessity on the Apple Watch, but yeah, we would try, and definitely the next version, if we can do, if not all of the features, maybe a subset we can have it available.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Jayanti, if you could stop sharing your screen. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, Jayanti, Minesh here, if I may. So thank you for your presentation. I think the target audience you mentioned, at least the initial audience you're covering as the target, um, they find sometimes watch is quite fidgety and quite actually small in terms of the size of I guess what they can see, as well as the knobs and the way they manipulate that. So what has your experience been in the few trials you have done in terms of usability and in terms of how easy the seniors have found to use the watch?
Um, Actually, it's a great question. So that's why the very first time, even before we did a development of the product, we did a prototype, and we had taken to a lot of senior homes here in Massachusetts, like Council on Aging. So one of the things that we do is we don't want the seniors to enter anything on the watch. That is very, very difficult. So based on their feedback, most of the time what we do is just ask them to touch or tap. That's what we will do. So when we do that, that's all the information that they have to do. They don't enter anything. They don't type anything. So for that, in fact, the first time we did, we had a yes or no, and then some people gave feedback. I can't really pinpoint yes or no. You just give me the whole screen to tap, and that is what we are doing. And it has a vibration for those who can't really see. So we have all the three trio feedback: vibration, voice, as well as display. So depending upon their cognitive ability, they can choose one of them. In fact, when we tried with a Parkinson patient, so he was taking like 20 medications a day. That he would mostly sleep off the medications, but because we had vibrations, he would wake up and then he'll take the medication and he'll go back to sleep. So yeah, definitely that's why we tried it even before we did the development.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Sure. A quick question here. First, great presentation, very impressive. And my question is about preventative care. So, have you worked with those, healthcare insurance companies, discussing about essentially if the patients use your service, if they can essentially supply data about a bit more active lifestyle, the insurance companies would give them a discount on a premium, etc. Have you thought about this part of revenue stream?
I did do last year. I had contacted a few insurance companies, but I think that was a premature because at the time CMS had not announced big reimbursement codes, and one of the CTOs of the insurance company said, even if they announce, it will take us a couple of years. So they were suggesting to go after Medicare Advantage plans that is set up in each state. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working with the Medicare Advantage or local health plans where they could take it and they can take it to the physician. So that's what I'm doing. And hopefully down the road, the insurance company will be ready to take it. So I'm in contact with a few insurance companies.
Great, thank you.
So a quick question, does your platform coordinate with the EHR system?
Yes. So we do have Fire interface, and we can integrate with any of the EHRs that support Fire. And also we are working with individual companies. If they have their own EHR system, then we can work with them.
So can I assume your business model is more like a both B2C and B2B model?
I am directly not going to B2C. Yes, I can go, but actually I did try first B2C, and then I figured I pivoted from there to B2B because the B2C, there are a couple of issues. One was the monthly subscription. So they don't know, it is a thing that they don't know how long that they have to pay for because it's a lifelong, right? And the second, that they don't know whether that they will be able to handle all of these things. So then I had to pivot. After pivoting to B2B, I have been having a pretty good traction with most of the telehealth companies. Actually, I'm partnering with telehealth companies because they like some of the features of the platform, and I can integrate with their platform, as well as any care coordinators kind of companies, so who really take care of patients in their homes. So they're also interested.
Okay. I actually have one small question. So you already generated revenue during this pilot study, or is that still not there yet?
Some of the pilots are paid pilots, yes, and some of them, of course, the individual that I do send one-on-ones with either patients or companies, but most of the pilots are paid pilots, yes.
Thanks.
So one quick question, Jayanti. Did you raise any funds so far, and are you raising new funds?
Yes, I have raised so far 350K. So it's mostly, the first one was friends and family. After that, a few angel investors. And now I am going in for the next round of financing. Yes.
Okay, great. I mean, the good thing is Kevin comes from a telemedicine entity.
Okay. Yeah.
He is listening to your pitch. So
Yeah.
hope you mentioned that there is a connect between telemedicine and your product. So
That's right.
I think,
Also, yeah. Yeah, I'm also working with a hospital. One of the things that we are trying to do is for Parkinson patients. So we are monitoring both their motor symptoms for their dyskinesia on time, as well as the medication correlation, dosing related. So if that really comes out, it will be very helpful for the physicians to determine the dosage for the medications. So that study is undergoing right now. So we are definitely, after that, what we are looking at is transitional care from the hospital. So we are working with the hospital care team as well.
okay, great, Jayanti. I think we have overrun the time. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
and
Thank you
all
so
the
much.
best. And if any
Thank you.
investors are interested, we'll connect with you. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay.